Your brand new Galaxy Watch Ultra 2 is already scratched and you haven't even dropped it once. Most people find out the hard way which accessories actually protect this thing, and which ones are a waste of money. We're ranking these by what actually holds up under daily charging and daily wear, not by star ratings. And I'll show you which one earned the top spot before we get to the ones you should skip. Number 5. ULTIMAL Watch Band for Samsung Galaxy Watch Ultra 47mm. We're starting with the ULTIMAL Watch Band made for the Galaxy Watch Ultra 47mm case, a size that covers both the 2024 Ultra and the 2025 Ultra 2, since Samsung kept the exact same case dimensions across both generations. The band itself is soft TPU, and the clasp and connector are 316L stainless steel with built-in screws that reinforce the connection point. That's a steel grade known for resisting corrosion, so it holds up to sweat better than the cheap alloy connectors you find on off-brand bands. There are ventilation channels cut into the underside, and the connector uses a dual bendable metal hinge that flexes with your wrist instead of digging in during a workout. Here's the honest catch. TPU is a solid, everyday material, but it's also the one most prone to picking up lint and pocket dust if you're someone who takes the watch on and off. It's not a pocket friction problem the way it would be on a phone case. You're not sliding a watch into denim, but the soft rubber surface does hold on to grime over time, and TPU in general isn't the material you reach for if you want something that still looks new in 2 years. Wipe it down after sweaty workouts, or it'll start looking dingier than the silicone band Samsung ships in the box. The connector is also sized specifically for the 47mm lug width on the Ultra line, so it won't fit the 44mm or 46mm case on the standard Watch 8 or Watch 8 Classic. If you're buying for the actual Ultra 2, that's a non-issue. It's exactly the frame it's built for, and you don't need to hunt through a size chart or guess which listing variant matches your watch. As a backup band or a gym day option, it earns a spot on the wrist. It's not the one I'd wear daily if you want something that stays pristine long-term, but the stainless hardware means it won't be the part that snaps or corrodes first, and that's a higher bar than most bands in this category actually clear. Number 4. Portable 1800 mAh keychain charger for Galaxy Watch Ultra 2. If the band handles what's on your wrist, the next problem is what happens when the watch dies halfway through a trip, which is exactly where this next pick comes in. This is the 1800 mAh portable charger with a keychain clip, and it's listed as compatible with the Watch Ultra 2 by name, along with the 9, 8, 8 Classic, 7, 6, 6 Classic, 5, 5 Pro, 4, 4 Classic, 3, and Active 2. So it's built around the same magnetic charging coil Samsung uses across the current watch lineup, not a guess and hope fit. The strength here is the format. At 46.2 by 64.8 by 16 millimeters, it's small enough to clip to a keychain or toss in a jacket pocket, and it has 4 LED indicators so you can check roughly how much charge is left before you walk out the door. The magnet pulls the watch into alignment on its own, so you're not fumbling to line up contacts in a dark car or at an airport gate. There's also a port consideration worth flagging. This charger takes its own input over USB to top itself up, so if your only cables at home are newer, chunkier braided ones, it's worth confirming the input port style on the listing before you buy. Worth a quick check rather than an assumption. For anyone who travels or just hates being tethered to an outlet, this is the practical pick. It's not the fastest charger on this list, but it's the one most likely to actually be in your pocket when the watch hits 5%. Before we get to the last two picks, the ones actually worth building your daily routine around, there's a trade-off worth understanding first. A nightstand charger and a pocket charger solve two completely different problems, and mixing them up is how people end up with a charger they never touch. And the very last pick on this list is going to surprise you, because we're circling back to where we started. Number 3. SwanScout 505S Charging Stand. This next one is the SwanScout 505S, a vertical charging stand listed for the 2025 Galaxy Watch Ultra, along with the 8, 8 Classic, 7, 6, 6 Classic, 5, 5 Pro, 4, 3, and Active 2. Where the keychain charger is about portability, this one is about the desk or nightstand setup. It uses a watch band support cradle instead of a flat pad, which keeps the watch from sliding off-center overnight. A real issue with flat charging pucks, where the watch drifts during sleep and quietly stops charging without you noticing. The stand also rotates from 0 to 45 degrees, so you can angle the face toward you if you're using it as a bedside display.
The manufacturer lists roughly 3 watts output, citing about 47% charge on a Watch 7 in around an hour. So this isn't built for speed, it's built for a steady overnight top-off. The weighted, anti-tipping base is the other half of the pitch. It won't get knocked over by a stray elbow at 2 a.m. The catch: because it's a stand and not a travel puck, it's the wrong pick if portability is what you're after. The same weighted base that keeps it steady on a nightstand makes it a bad fit for a bag. And like most third-party docks, it's built around the standard caseback, so if you're running a rugged case with a raised lip around the charging contacts, double-check clearance before buying. It's also worth comparing this directly to a flat charging puck for a second, because the difference isn't cosmetic. A flat pad relies entirely on you placing the watch dead center every single time. Nudge it half an inch in your sleep, and charging quietly stops. The cradle design here physically holds the watch band in place, so the coil stays aligned with the charging contacts no matter how you set the watch down. That's the actual functional upgrade, not just the looks nicer on a nightstand angle most listings lead with. If your charging habit is plug in at the same spot every night, this beats a flat pad on reliability alone. Number 2. Magnetic charging cable and adapter kit. And that brings us to the one I'd actually build a routine around: the magnetic charging cable and adapter kit, listed directly for the Watch 9, 8, 8 Classic, 7, 6, and Ultra 2, along with the 5, 5 Pro, 4, 4 Classic, 3, Active 2, and Active. It's the simplest product on this list: a 3.3-foot magnetic charging cable plus a 5-volt 1-amp USB power adapter. But it wins because it's the most flexible piece of hardware here. The magnetic puck auto-aligns with the back of the watch, similar to the Keychain charger, but because it's a cable instead of a battery brick, you're not limited by a second battery that eventually needs its own recharge. Plug it into any wall adapter, a laptop, or a power bank, and it works. The 5 volts/1 ampere output is a stable, conservative rate, rather than an off-brand fast charge claim that could stress the battery over time. The 3.3-foot cable length is also long enough to actually matter day to day, short enough to keep on a nightstand without cable clutter, but long enough to reach from a wall outlet to a couch or desk without you hunting for an extension. It's a small detail, but it's the difference between a charger you use where you sit and a charger you have to sit next to. But for sheer usefulness, one cable that works as your desk charger, your travel charger, and your backup if the original cable frays, this is a strong second pick. It's the accessory that actually stays in rotation instead of sitting in a drawer after the novelty wears off. That leaves the actual top spot, and it's the same ULTIMAL band we opened the list with, just framed the way it should have been from the start. Number 1. Best. ULTIMAL watch band for Samsung Galaxy Watch Ultra 47mm. Here's the thing about the ULTIMAL band. Everything that made it a starter pick at the bottom of this list is also the reason it belongs at the top. The 316L stainless steel clasp and connector with built-in screws is genuinely stronger hardware than what most bands in this price range use, and the soft TPU band paired with ventilation channels means it's comfortable enough to wear every day, not just during workouts. The dual bendable metal connector is the detail that matters most long-term. It's the part of any band that fails first, and this one is reinforced specifically so it doesn't. Fit isn't a question mark either. It's built for the 47mm lug width shared by both the 2024 Ultra and the 2025 Ultra 2, so there's no generation confusion. Buy it once, and it's correct for either version of the watch. The honest catch is the same one we already covered. TPU picks up lint and pocket dust over time. And it's not the band you reach for if you want something that looks showroom fresh 2 years in without any maintenance. That's a real trade-off, not a deal breaker. A quick wipe down after workouts keeps it looking right. Recap. So, to recap, if you travel and need charge on the move, grab the Keychain charger. If you want a steady nightstand setup that won't drift off-center overnight, the SwanScout stand earns the desk space. If you just want one reliable cable that covers every situation, the magnetic charging kit is a strong backup option. And if you want the single accessory worth building your setup around, the ULTIMAL band's stainless hardware is the one that holds up. Links to all 5 are in the description. Let me know in the comments which one you're adding to your Ultra 2 setup.